Hello, rocket defense tubers, and welcome back to Let's Play Factorio with me, BlueAnkylo. In this episode, I plan on crafting the rocket defense that we're supposed to be building to protect the colonists from the enemy biters as they land on this planet. That's why we came here, right? Do you guys remember the story? It's been a while. Anyway, I finished researching this. And then I started looking closely at what needs to build it. 3 of those items are very easy. 2 of them are not, and it's the quantities that are really going to get you. So, advanced circuit, no big deal. That's like tier 2 stuff. We definitely have hundreds of that, or at least we can build it. Processing units, they're a little bit harder to make, but 128 isn't too bad. Remember, we needed 200 for our armor, so we can do that. That's no problem. Rockets, well, I set up an automated rocket factory just for that purpose. This guy builds rockets out of explosives. We can handle rockets. That's probably the easiest one. The problem, as it turns out, is 100 level 3 speed modules altogether. What does that mean? Well, I mean, you can see, if you look at the raw resources, that means we need 3,000 processing units. Making you require 128 for the final rocket defense is pointless. You need 3,000 just to make the modules. You need 24,000 plastic and 73,000 copper plates and 33,000 iron plates. And it's going to take, apparently to build it, 195,000 seconds to finish actually constructing the rocket defense. So I'm hoping this isn't a joke and it's actually possible, but I am going to give it a shot. I have a custom assembling machine that I'm using to construct level 3s, and I actually have more than one of them. I've been putting the level 3s into machines. I've probably got about 10 or 12. But let's work our way through the supply chain and see what the problem is. For this one assembly machine, I just manually stockpiled it. I have, at the moment, 2 machines capable of doing processing units. And then they request from here, and they both have output chests that are always empty. Why? Because every single one of those is going over here to turn a level 1 module into a level 2 for productivity and for speed. Every single processing unit we can possibly make. I don't think I have anything else turned on right now that uses them. I'm pretty sure most of my base is actually off. I'm not researching. I've turned almost everything there is off, just so that I can focus on this one supply chain. These things produce advanced circuits. We're doing pretty good on advanced circuits. I've got a couple hundred saved up. No big deal. I could probably take out some of my modules from these guys now. They were my bottleneck before, but now that we're producing processing units, these are the bottleneck. And boy, are they a bottleneck. I guess they are at least crafting at full speed now, so I can probably start adding more assembly machines, but I have been running into every possible bottleneck on this chain. Like, I ran out of copper electronic circuits, so I upgraded the assembly machines. I actually destroyed a couple of the inserter and the red potion ones, just so that I'd have more of these able to go, and they're all level 3. I also have 2 of them inserting directly into chests, just so that they don't get a backlog like this, because these smart inserters can't keep up with even 3 machines. It's crazy. And then, of course, as soon as you start adding these, we run low on copper cables. We're still not quite making enough, because I could pump the speed of these things up even faster. This guy has a crafting speed of 1 second. Well, I could put in some more blue modules. He'll go even faster, but you'll see, resource shortage. We can't actually, because it stops for a second after finishing one, it can't actually get enough resources into it to craft that fast. So, you know, that's pointless. We might as well at least keep it productivity up a little bit so that you get a free electronic circuit every now and then. But the problem is I'm still not making enough electronic circuits, or at least I wasn't. Maybe I'm slowly catching up. I'm not convinced. Until all of my requester chests that use electronic circuits at least have 100 in them, maybe we're getting there. Maybe we're finally catching up. I've been working away really hard trying to get more. In fact, because the copper cable shortage, they never made it to the end to be put into the chest. I had to add the copper cable constructors that go specifically into a passive chest, just so that the advanced circuits that require extra cables can go there. It got a little bit crazy, I gotta say. The good news is we have tons of copper plates, so I can basically make... The only thing that we're using them for is cables right now, so I can basically put as many of these machines on the line as I want. The problem is, I've basically hit the limit of what a blue cable can, a blue belt can hold. If you watch closely, this red one here, it gets stuck because it can't put anything down there. And this blue one gets stuck sometimes. And what happens is, once it's got, I don't know how many, it stops producing because there's nowhere to put them now. And then finally we move some and they start working again. So I was thinking about it. I would have to completely redesign my whole factory around copper cables just to get max speed. It's possible I should just put all of these into... You know what I haven't tried is, instead of relying on cables, I could... or instead of relying on belts, I could try relying on chests. I've never... I mean, let's try it. Let's do this on camera. Because at the moment, it's going to take hundreds... Well, I'm going to say hours and hours, probably 10s or 20s of hours, just to make this rocket defense. So I want to try a couple things on camera, and then I'll continue working off camera. So let's say this chest requests cables. And we'll let it set at lots, maybe 200 or so. And then we'll use a fast inserter to pull out. One of the yeah, you can see all the robots trying to catch up. One of the perks is that this inserter will pull out 4 at a time, so that it's not going to be... these guys, basically off the belt, they're only going to pull in 1 at a time. That's why I've got 3 each, because it requires 3 cables for every 1 plate. So they pull in sync, basically 3 out at a time. Let's turn these off because we're going to see if it can rely on just this. And maybe the truth is, once you've got lots of logistic bots, maybe we should just give up on the belts, because I keep running into the problem where the belts just don't move stuff fast enough, like this. The electronic circuits get backed up because you can only pull out 1 at a time. This blue bot, this blue inserter right here, the fast guy, he will pull out 4 every second. The logistic bots will also carry 4 at a time, so it's pretty efficient. Now, you keep an eye on the available robots. If that ever drops down to 0, then they can't keep up with all the work I'm trying to give them. But I would say this machine is working at basically full speed. In fact, the cable is no longer going to be the bottleneck. It might be the iron plates, or no, because it can pull out really quick. It can remove electronic circuits as fast as we build them. All right, let's try the ever dreamed of mass speed. Yeah. So if you get the crafting speed up to 2.7, whatever that means, it can't get iron in fast enough. So what would we do then? Well, let's try. Actually, wait, no. Yeah, let's have a separate chest for each. Also, we get a little bit of slowdown. There's so many bots flying around. I think the game is starting to have a hard time. We need to finish this off before much longer. Let's set this one up for iron plates, if I can click it. Come on, game. Hold together for old blue. Oops, that's not how we select things. There we go. And we'll want at least a couple hundred for buffer. Something like that. I could have put them in the same chest, yes, but then the inserter would have to pull both out and it would slow down. So here we go. This is about as fast as, well, unless we put speed modules 3 in. And it's still somewhat limited by the copper cable. Actually, let's turn these off so we get to see a truthful. Alright, so it's almost working constantly. Not, I think it's pulling the circuits out fast enough, but it's not getting... It's got lots of iron there, lots of cables ready. We're definitely getting some slowdown. I think the more robots that are going, the more it slows down. But that's okay. Anyway, this thing, I think we basically have to have at least one productivity module in there just to slow it down a little bit. And we'll get... The productivity modules, they This one, like the level 3s are almost neutral on speed. You get 10% more output, and it slows it down by 15%. It just consumes energy, that's the decrease. So they're actually pretty solid. Pretty good replacement for a pure speed upgrade, in my opinion. I've been building lots of them. I would say it's still not quite keeping up. Let's see if we can find another level 3 productivity. I just want to see if there's a good ratio here of cable to... Well, I want to see if there's a good combo that will work at full speed, basically. And then I can do the same thing. Well, I could mirror it. I don't know. Like, if I put 2 of these side by side with those 3 boxes in between, the inserters, it would sort of save some space. How is my supplies? You know, we might be catching up on electronic circuits now. I think the bottleneck is probably moving on to processing units now, because they're very slow to build. Let's keep constructing, or perhaps even just the level 2 guys. They're pretty slow. Well, okay, if the bottleneck is here, it's probably because they're not getting enough processing units. Yeah, they're supposed to have 10. This is where the bottleneck is. Okay, there's supposed to be at least 10 logistic units in these chests, so that the level 2 machines, the level 2 module machines, are always working. I haven't even bothered upgrading them really, because they're not like, it's stumped right now. It's got no processing units. So okay, that's probably where we're bottlenecked, which means we've got enough plastic. How are these? Yeah, the advanced circuits are fine. That chain's okay now. We need more of this stuff. How do we do that? Well, it's a little bit tricky because it requires sulfuric acid. We've got tons of that, of course, but the cables make it a little bit of a pain to connect them. You guys get out of here, stupid biters. We don't have time for you guys. I could also speed these up. Actually, I've been meaning to put faster modules. I guess what keeps happening is previously these weren't getting enough resources, so I spent all my time on the chain, on the line. Now they're starting to get enough resources to always be running. I should actually upgrade them to perfect modules. Oh, and one thing, unfortunately, when you're making modules, you can't use productivity modules to get a better efficiency on the input. Basically, I have to put in speed is basically as good as you can get. You can save some energy, but who cares? We got lots of electricity. The green ones are almost pointless for this kind of stuff, because I don't care if we use, you know, a megawatt each. I don't really care, as long as our electric system can handle it. And right now we're not doing a whole lot. There's no research. Most of the line is not working on assembly, so I can use all the power we've got to basically craft this stuff as quickly as possible. And it's pretty slow. I mean, that's a minute base. I don't know what the maybe it's a minute divided by 3.75. Like maybe the crafting speed is what, like, you take the time that these take, divide it by the crafting speed, and that's how long it takes in real time. I'm not 100% sure. I haven't measured it. Anyway, productivity. Also, it's a little bit dark. Let's just add some light. Oh, it's just evening. Never mind. So if we give these things, well, it's a combo because they need more speed too. It's not just about productivity. I mean, I can give them a couple level 3s. I think what I'd like is to give them 2 level 3 productivities and 2 level 3 blues. Because processing units are such a pain to craft, it's nice to get, you know, improved efficiency, so the input you get, well, 10% or 20% more output than you give in, which is nice. It would be really nice to use those on the modules, but unfortunately that does not work. So we can't do it. Okay, let's try, instead of purples, let's make a few level 3 blues. I don't mind crafting a ton of these ahead of time right now, because, actually one thing, I should turn this down. I'm carrying around too many, and they always end up refilling my stockpile before going into the machines. Pull some out. In fact, I will just manually put some in over here just to keep these machines working. Where's my spare? There we go. Yeah, I forget about that. Because I have my own personal inventory on the logistic network, they pull out of there a lot. So let's see. What can we do here? That will keep these running for a little while. We'll get a few extra level 2 modules. I need... Well, I mean, okay. I never really counted them out with you. The reason I'm going so crazy about this stuff is, okay, so 50 speed 3, 50 productivity 3. Let's go double check that. Besides the alien artifacts, which I think I have enough, right? I would need 100 artifacts altogether. I've got more than that ready to go. Okay, artifact, check. You also need processing units, so you need, for each level, so we need, just to turn them into level 3s, 250 advanced and processing. So that's 500 counting the productivity and the speed 3s. You know, altogether 500 processing units, that's not bad. But the problem is, of course, crafting the level 2s, which takes another 5. And because it takes, well, let's say 5 level 2s for every level 3, you'll need altogether 250 of the level 2s, and then another 250, well, 200 of the blue ones, technically. Plus, of course, the requirements for the level 1s, but that's not so bad. They're just, it's those processing units that are really slowing me down, I guess. I think, where, didn't I? Oh, maybe I'm running out of those two. Oh no, I just picked them up by accident. You guys go back in there. I don't even really care. Fill up. I had slowed these down a bit because I kept running out of electronic circuits and advanced circuits. I think I can just let them go for now. Keeping in mind that if I need 250, we'll keep working down the chain. We need 50 of these, 200 of those. That means we need 800 level 1s. And 250 of these... Sorry. Yeah, 250 of these means another 1,000 of these. So, how much is 1,000? 60. How many stacks is 1,000? 10 stacks is 640. I mean, like, I could lock it off about there, and that'll be a lot. We'll still need probably more. I mean, I don't want it to produce more than we need, but we need so many. It's just crazy. I should probably build more of those assembly machines. Anyway, I'll probably take a break. I know I'm starting to ramble a little bit. I just figured I'd show you what I'm doing and why it's taking me so long. So yeah, I'll probably double my processing unit factory here, at least. I was gonna add the super product ones. I don't know. This is what I'm trying to do anyway. Whether this works out or whether it takes me another 100 years is a question. But I'm going to put all the speed module 3s into these things to get them to work as fast as I can. And then once we've got 50 of each of them, I will start crafting my rocket defense, which is all that's really left now. Crazy. Alright folks, see you in a bit. For you. Long time for me. And welcome back, folks. I've spent the time to finally gather the resources to create this rocket defense. And before I start constructing it, I'd like to mention that it takes forever. I ended up AFKing for a while and all that because it just takes so long. I didn't really change a whole lot. I mean, I've got lots of production of... I mean, I doubled the processing unit production. I've got 2 automated... I had them set up for the productivity modules so that they would craft while I was away. I had doubled the level 2s, so there was more of those modules. And basically, I added enough stuff to my factory that we couldn't supply enough copper to it anymore. Just for interest's sake. I mean, I added a lot of copper cable manufacturing and electronic circuits, because those are the main ones that run out for this project anyway. And yeah, I still have copper in my mine up here, but I just can't get it back into town fast enough. In fact, you kind of have this cool little graph where you can see basically where there's a delivery of copper, and then we use it all faster than the next train can come back, and then we use it all. Basically, even if it was connected, not with, like, even if there was a copper mine right here, we would, instead of having the slope from the train, it would just be down low. Basically, there would never be enough copper to run everything at max speed. So yeah, I would recommend, if you want to try the rocket defense project to build an entire base for it, devoted just to that. I ended up turning off half my base, and I could not have done research at the same time, for instance. They would have both gone way slower. It actually doesn't need very much iron. In fact, just one more time, it's been a while. I want to have a quick look at... I'm going outside the range of my robobots so they don't refill me up. I want to show you guys approximately what it requires to build. So this is, I don't believe, counting the extra 128 processing units. Or actually, I don't think it breaks processing units down into components because those require sulfuric acid to build. So I don't believe this is counting electronic circuits and advanced circuits required for those 3,000 processing units. So I actually think the numbers are worse by a fair degree, because it's 3,000 times 20 more electronic circuits and another 6,000 advanced circuits. And advanced circuits take electronics. The amount of electronic circuits you need is phenomenal. Anyway, point is, unless your base happens to have around 100,000 copper plates and let's say 50,000 iron plates, 100,000 copper plates, to be fair, and 25,000 plastic, don't even attempt it. It's just too much. And then I'd probably build a base devoted to this, just focused on building this stuff. So like if I was to redo it, I might try to find a nice area. You don't really need coal or anything once you hook it up to the power. You just need tons of copper and iron. So if you could find a really nice area with a good batch of iron and coal or iron and copper nearby, perhaps in between these two would work. I don't know if that's enough copper. Just devoted. I'd want to find a really huge copper patch near an iron patch, and then just build a base there devoted to making essentially modules, and then the rocket defense once you can. Anyway, I suppose you do need the sulfuric acid, so you need to have a bit of oil processing, but it's not a very big deal. Anyway, without further ado, make sure I bring my stuff with me. Okay, let's begin construction of it. I don't know how long it's going to take. It says 200,000. The problem is, I don't think you even can craft it in an assembly. Like, I can't just, I can't take advantage of the bonus crafting speed or speed modules, because I betcha if you select it, yeah, it takes 5 ingredients. You can't, I can't even set it to go in one of these machines and then just add, like, you know, 4 level 3 speed modules, surround it with beacons, and then just make it go a little bit faster. No, we have to do it manual. Okay, well, it's super fast. Forget all that. How does... Oh, I guess maybe it means 195,000 for all the other resources? I don't know what that number means. I was expecting that to take ages. Anyway, point is, ta-da! I guess there's no graphic for it yet. Oh, I crafted so fast I managed to get past what's actually in this version of the game, I guess. It is only an alpha. Oh, disappointing. Let's put it down. Yay, we win, I think. If I maybe give it some power. Yeah, I've got power here. Here you go, rocket defense. Power up. Awesome. Start ship landing. So it's stored up, it used it. You can actually see it draining power from the accumulators. Go. Oh, okay, so, oops, I hit E. Rocket defense. Okay, the time until the fleet lands, 10 minutes. So I wonder, are we going to get attacked or something? Ship landing started. Turrets are engaging somewhere. Oh, some turrets are just, some enemies are destroying an abandoned pipeline. There's just a few turrets left over there, but nothing else going on. I mean, 10 minutes. Do I have to defend the rocket defense for 10 minutes? That'd be cool. I'm expecting some really dangerous enemies or something then. Well, we could just hang out for 10 minutes. That's about how much time is left for this episode, I think. And we'll win. So I'll wrap up a few closing thoughts for Factorio. Obviously, it's still in development. There's lots more stuff to be added. I'll probably be taking a break from it after this episode for a while. But I'll probably keep an eye on it, and maybe when it's finally released, I'll play it some more, and You never know, I might record a few more videos. Depends on if they add significantly more stuff. As it is, I think it's a great little game to waste some time. It can get surprisingly complicated. The basics are pretty good. It's a testament of a good game, even in alpha. The basics are pretty easy to get a handle of. There's only 3 or 4 main resources. It's not complicated like that. But to really master it, to get efficient layouts and the right ratio of machines and inserters and belts as you work your way to the top of the tech tree, it gets really, like, I spent a lot of time thinking about this. And although this is actually my second base, because I did play once before I started the series, I already know, I didn't get this far obviously, but I already know for my third base, if I start over again, I would do things a lot differently. I might make one base devoted to research. I think probably I'd have one factory line devoted to research. You basically just insert copper plates and iron plates, because that's all you really need. And then I'd have another base devoted to producing... Well, I don't know. I don't know how I would do it. I guess I'd have to think about it. My point is, I would learn from this one, and I'd make a better designed base, I would think. But yeah, it's been a lot of fun. I expect good things from this game in the future. So, is there anything else I was going to talk about? I wish there was more power generating options. Right now you've got basically 2 ways to generate power. Steam engines, which they work. They're a little temperamental, but they work. Once you realize you can't use more than 3 pumps, like there's kind of a maximum unit size, because water only flows through a pipe at a certain speed. You have to compartmentalize it a little bit. Groups of 20 or so with a good number of boilers works pretty well. But you've got steam and solar, and of course solar only is working half the day, as you should be able to see. The blue line is solar. It turns on, I guess maybe it's a little bit too big. There you go. You should be able to see this. During the daytime it runs, you get tons of power, and then at the nighttime you need something else. I suppose you could do pure solar plus accumulator, but it would take a ton. If you didn't have some amount of steam engine to power up during the night, you would need more, like, I think my base, if I disconnected all the steam engines, would fail. You'd actually need way more solar and accumulators, because it sucks down, like, it's hard to show it right now, but I've seen it in the past where you won't even be able to see. It's too jiggity at that point. But basically, overnight when the solars are off, it takes, like, the accumulator capacity sucks out really quickly overnight, even if you've got gigajoules basically. And then during the day your solars spend tons of time recharging them. Like, it is actually really hard to stay ahead. Anyway, rambling. Point is, it'd be nice to see some other power production in the future. Maybe even nuclear. Uranium would be cool. But even just, I really expected an oil power plant, basically, because there's still a lot of things. In fact, I wouldn't be surprised if there's one in the works. There's not a whole lot to do with some of the oil. Like, heavy oil is, if I remember correctly, there's like 2 things. You can either turn it into light oil, or you can use it to make flamethrower ammo. And lubricant. Okay, lubricant and flamethrower ammo. That's the 2 things. And there are a couple things that use lubricant. That's fine. But I don't know. Heavy oil seems a little bit underused. Maybe an oil burning power plant would be nice. Probably oil and water for steam or something. But yeah, it'd be pretty cool. It's lots of fun. Just sort of waiting for the time to finish up. I don't know, what else should we talk about? Let's go kill some enemies while we're... I was kind of expecting an attack, and we didn't get any. Let's just go take out a base. I could use my turret defense system, but we're going to do it the old-fashioned way. We'll be totally okay. I've got a couple poison capsules. We'll build a couple more on our way over. And I hate the fact that it's night again, but it shouldn't last too long. Alright, this is a pretty massive looking base. Let's ruin their day. Let's wreck their day. This is a lot of... Holy smokes, look at this. It's like Biter Central down here. Wow. Now, there's no turrets, but... the swarm is coming. Oh, it's crazy. Got another poison capsule ready to go. I've got a couple slowdown that just sort of... They make things a little bit easier. I think you can actually hit yourself with a slowdown. So you should be careful if you're mimicking my strategy, if you call this a strategy. I'll probably die here, and then the ship will fail, and we'll have to start over again. There we go. Did I? Oh no, I'm using the wrong ones. I'm using defenders things. Oh, they get destroyed too fast. Okay, this is probably the most I've ever seen on screen at once. They are spawning. Maybe we're not supposed to be fighting the biters while the ship's on the way over. Okay, let's go home. Let's not take out that base right now, and let's hope our laser turrets are really up for a challenge here. Oh man! All right, lasers, forward base. This actually is one of my weaker ones. I didn't put a ton of turrets here. Protect me. We'll slow them down a little bit. Oh, the walls are going to get destroyed. There's no repair bots here. Slow them down. Okay, actually, you know, my turrets are pretty darn strong, aren't they? Let's lead them away now that the walls have taken some damage. This outpost actually has probably more turrets than the other one. I like to put them down in groups of like 32 now. Oh, this was my stone manufacturing. Right. Yeah. I probably have lots of walls and stuff there ready to go. Wow, there's so many. Oh, don't get caught. I almost got caught there. Oh, jeez. Okay, let's take them back up to the main base. Obviously, there's not enough turrets here. How's my power doing? We still have... Yeah, the accumulators are still full. We generate so much power, it's nothing to worry about. Okay, main base. This is still not the most defended approach. Actually, let's lead them past those turrets into these turrets over here. I think the enemies will focus on me. Plus, this area gets repaired by bots, so it's a little bit safer. Wow. I haven't seen this many biters spawn before. I assume this is because it's the end of the game time or something. I would expect like increased spawning for the last 10 minutes. That would be fair. But no, the way that base went down there, if you didn't have the forward wall, like the laser wall like I was talking about, like we did a couple episodes ago, I don't see how you could have taken that out with that many biters. Obviously, the blueprint bot construction works pretty good. Another worm spawner. Oh, they got me. I would like to find just a little base that we could actually fight. Maybe I've got... This is a relatively small base. Maybe we'll be okay. Oh, there's so many, though. Alright. I have been here before, obviously. I just missed some artifacts. Oh, these are the defend... Oh, did I build the wrong ones? I wanted poison capsules. I built a whole bunch of defender capsules. I've actually got thousands of those back in base. I mean, they're cool. How many can I have these days? A lot. This is the one where once you max your research out, you'll just have... I don't know how many of these things. You could have just probably hundreds of them going. It's one thing I would like to do is see the max level... Oh man. Oh no 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 no! Holy cow! Okay, yeah, they're definitely spawning more than normal. Let's just leave a present for them. Look at all the AoE damage. Okay, let's also take out our rocket launcher. I haven't shown this off much. Explosive rockets. There you go. Look at that. It does kind of AoE. Oh, jeez. It's not enough, though. Against this, what could you do? I mean, I'm glad I can run faster than them, but you would use... How many rockets do you think this would take to actually kill? Oh, wait! We're almost there! 10 seconds! Back to base! Back to base! I don't know if I'm going to make it. Wasn't paying attention. Run, little buddy! To base, to base, to base! What's going to happen? We just win! So there you go, guys. You can see about how much time I spent. Although I would say a good amount of that was both off camera and AFK, just waiting for stuff to finish. So it's not 100% accurate like that. But yeah, that's cool. I'm surprised I only destroyed one of my walls. But medium worms, yeah, I killed 44 big worms somehow. Thousands of biters. Very cool. Even some coral and a fish. Alright guys, that was a lot of fun. So thanks for watching. I hope you've enjoyed this little series. I don't know how many episodes we got out of that, maybe 20 or so, but that was a lot of fun. And I mean, it looks like it's going to have mod support at some point. And obviously the map editor and stuff. I haven't played with this at all, really. I haven't changed settings. I just started with basically default except extra bases, which was good. So yeah, there's also a tutorial. Obviously, there's probably going to be a campaign at some point. I didn't even really play these much. I just wanted to get into the game and start doing stuff. So anyway, that's all. Hope you guys have enjoyed and have a great day.